how to feel in order to authentically heal. My name's Kute Blackson, nationally best-selling author of You Are the One and the Magic of Surrender. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some simple step-by-step keys that will help you truly learn how to feel those feelings so that you can heal. Because without feeling, authentic feeling, there is no real healing. And many times, I come across individuals and clients that say, Kute, I've felt this, I've been crying, I've been emoting, I've had so much emotion, but I still have the feeling, I still can't get over the feeling. There is a reason why. I'm going to share with you. You know, feelings are they're this invisible thing. You can't see an emotion. You can't put it on the table. You can't hold it. You can't hug it. You can't quantify it. Yet feelings, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're man, whether you're woman, whether you're Chinese, whether you're African, whether you're from the UK or Brazil, we all have feelings. In so many ways, this invisible thing of feelings is the very thing that is running the world. We do what we do because we feel angry, because we feel sad, because we feel mad, because we feel resentful, we feel jealous. Whether we're aware of it or not, your feelings play such an important role in determining your decisions, in determining your actions, and as a result, in determining your future. Many of us are born because our parents felt a certain way. Wars have been started because of feelings and emotions. And so feelings. The challenge is, in our culture today, we are not taught to cultivate a healthy relationship with our feelings, you see. What we're taught is, if you switch on the television, what we're taught is, hey, the commercial says, hey, you feel sad? You feel bad? You don't feel great? Oh, doesn't matter. Pop this pill. Suppress that feeling. You'll feel okay. There might be a bunch of side effects, like your hair might fall out. Other things might not work. You might die, but it's okay. You won't feel the pain. In our culture, we've been taught, we've been conditioned to avoid and deny and suppress and repress the pain. But what we have to realize is all feelings that don't get healthy expression, all feelings that aren't expressed authentically and healthily will find a way to manifest and express in unhealthy ways. Feelings that aren't felt fully will end up manifesting as some form of emotional depression, emotional heaviness, emotional pain, depression, sadness, anger. Feelings that aren't felt fully and authentically might manifest as some kind of physical ailment, backache, neckache, eye pain, or even consistently not felt over time. Feelings might manifest in your physiology, in your body, as some form of dis-ease. Or you might attract people into your life unconsciously that reflect, that mirror manifest, that mirror to you the unexpressed, unacknowledged feelings that you pushed into your own shadow. In our culture, from childhood, you see, we're conditioned. Oh, don't feel your feelings, don't feel your feelings, don't be cry, don't be mad, don't be bad. Oh, good girls don't feel that way. Smile, just smile. So here's what happens. As children, we're born in touch with our feelings. When we're babies, we're in touch, we're in tune with our authentic feelings. We fall down, we cry, we move on. Right? We don't wallow on that pain, in that pain. Maybe you fell down when you were 5 and you're still crying about that, the banging your knee when you were 7. You feel it, you experience it, you let it go, boom, back to joy. And so as babies, we're not conditioned yet. But when we're born, the conditioning process starts happening over time. Much of it's unconscious. Maybe we're born into a certain framework, a certain family system where there's pain, there's trauma, there's hurt, there's divorce. Maybe your parents weren't around, maybe they weren't emotionally available, maybe they were abusive, maybe there was fighting, maybe there's mental illness. So the first thing that starts happening to condition us out of the healthy relationship with our feelings is we begin to learn all sorts of defense mechanisms to shut down, disconnect, not feel. Maybe mom was screaming and dad was screaming all the time. It was too painful for our for being sensitive creatures as children, so we learn to shut down, disconnect, not feel. Compartmentalize, shut down, disconnect, not feel. Block our hearts, create a wall in our hearts so that we don't have to feel the madness, the instability, the unsafety, the screaming, the abuse, whatever it was. And so we shut down parts of ourselves, suppress, suppress, suppress. And every time we learn to suppress, another layer of unfelt emotion builds up in our heart. Another layer of unfelt emotion sits in our heart, covering up our true heart's capacity to feel authentically. It worked for us when we were 5. It just may not work for us as we get older and older and older and older. It was a survival mechanism that we learned in order to survive and not feel the pain. We weren't taught how to authentically feel, but what ends up happening is often the feelings that we've suppressed, we get into a relationship, something happens, an event happens, a traumatic thing happens, something triggers the feeling, and usually at a certain point, boom, we explode. All of the years, decades, months of feelings that we haven't felt just come out. Many times wreaking havoc in our life, many times destroying a relationship, many times we dump all of our feelings on those closest to us that have nothing to do with them, but have to do with someone else. Are your feelings controlling your life? Are your feelings sabotaging your relationships? Are your feelings running you and controlling you rather than you having mastery over your feelings? Realize, number one, that you are not your feelings. You are not your feelings. So we have to learn to cultivate a relationship with our feelings without overly identifying with, I am sad, I am angry. You are not your feelings. Number two, realize that your feelings aren't good or bad. This is where the shift happens. When you really understand that your feelings aren't good or bad, they are just energy. Your feelings are simply feedback to you, showing you where something is needing attention. There's either something you're not dealing with, there's either something that feels off, out of alignment, that your feelings are showing you something's not quite right here, but we often don't listen or acknowledge it. Your feelings are energy, your feelings are messages, your feelings are feedback. What we have to learn to do is stop seeing them as good or bad and simply see them as a messenger, and as a result, step back, don't identify, and listen to the message that that feeling is trying to communicate to you. Pay attention to the feeling. When you suppress it, those feelings usually stay stuck. Many times we're afraid to feel our feelings. Why? We are afraid that because we don't have a healthy relationship with them, we're afraid that if I feel my feelings, they will last forever. If I feel my feelings, they will overwhelm me. If I feel my feelings, I will break, I will go crazy, I won't be able to handle it, it will be overwhelming. Sometimes we don't feel our feelings as a way to hold on to a relationship or a person because we're afraid if I really feel my feelings authentically and release that relationship, or I really feel my feelings of grief about my mother dying, I might have to acknowledge that she's really gone, but if I don't feel it, I don't have to acknowledge that they're really gone. So sometimes not feeling the feelings can be a way of holding on to what we don't want to release. Also, not feeling the feelings is sometimes a spiritual bypass. Oh, I want to be in a high vibration, law of attraction, high vibration. And so we suppress that so-called negative feeling of grief, of sadness, in order to try and stay high. But what we don't realize is even if you get high for a moment, the unresolved, unfelt feeling will pull you back down once you're finished with your meditation or ayahuasca journey or, yoga practice, because it's in your energy system. You'll also end up attracting to you certain situations and relationships that reflect the unresolved frequency and vibration of feeling that you haven't felt. You can't run away from your feelings. So there's no good or bad feelings. There's just feelings. All feelings have their own natural cycle and rhythm. All feelings begin to dissolve in layers and in stages, maybe not all at once, but in layers and in stages when you feel them fully. And here is the simple key to feeling them fully. Many times people emote and they cry thinking they're feeling, but here's the mistake. We are thinking about our feelings or judging our feelings or focusing or resisting or mentalizing our feelings rather than feeling our feelings fully with awareness, with consciousness, with intention and responsibility. All feelings that you cannot have will have you. But when you're able to be with your feelings, that's the key, to be with your feelings, allow them to be, to hold them, to experience them fully without attachment or resistance, identification or judgment, your feelings will begin to dissolve. Your feelings will begin to have the space to begin unwinding and unraveling and begin to dissolve. So, take the label off of the feelings. Don't call it good or bad. Don't call it grief or sadness. Simply take the name and label off, the judgments off. Experience the feeling in your body. Experience the sensation of the energy of the feeling in your body. See where it's located. In the chest, in the leg, in the arm, in the neck. Notice the sensation. Allow the sensation to move and see what it wants to do, and allow it to move, because every feeling has a cycle. You'll begin to realize that without interference, without judgment or resistance, the feeling's natural cycle will begin to unwind, unravel, and dissolve. Then you are truly being with your feeling and experiencing the feeling fully, not in your mind, in your body, and the feeling, the layer, and the cycle will begin to dissolve. All feelings fully felt begin to dissolve. All feelings that don't have healthy expression simply stay stuck. You are not your feelings. Your feelings are happening inside of you. The awareness that is you. So, what I want you to do is acknowledge. Take a moment to breathe. Don't run from. Acknowledge whatever feelings that perhaps you've been suppressing. Maybe there's grief. Many times we want to move on with our life, but we're still not dealing with feelings from the past. Acknowledge the feelings you need to feel. Acknowledge the feelings you've been resisting, and practice being with them without name, without judgment, taking the labels off, experiencing them fully, and seeing what happens. The grief may not all go at once. It may not go on it may not dissolve on a timeline cycle, but it will dissolve as you're able to be with it fully. Folks, if you enjoyed this short video, definitely share it with your friends. Also, make sure you go to my website, KuteBlackson.com, KuteBlackson.com. Enter your name and your email. There's amazing free gifts waiting right there for you. A video series on how to live your purpose. Love now.